Did you know that losing weight is much harder when you're overweight? And no, it's not just about laziness. If just eat less, move more was the secret to weight loss, I'd be sitting here shirtless with a six-pack on show. But instead, I've got my shirt on for your safety. No nightmares for you today. The truth, losing weight's genuinely harder when you're already overweight, and the science backs that up. It's not just physical, but it's also mental. If you've ever felt like your own body is actively working against you, it probably is. So today, we're breaking down why your body fights weight loss, and more importantly, how to fight back. By the end of this episode, you will know exactly what's been holding you back and how to fix it. Let's be honest, if you've ever tried to lose weight, you've probably had that moment where you're thinking, why is this so hard for me, but it's not for other people? And you know what? You're right. Weight loss is harder when you're overweight. Your body fights you, your brain fights you, and society, well, they certainly don't make it any easier, do they? But here's the good news. You're not failing because you're lazy. You're failing because the game is rigged against you. And once you understand that, you can actively manage it better. So today, we're breaking it all down. Why weight loss is harder for overweight people, and more importantly, how to beat the system. You're going to have to sit tight here. This is the science bit. But I promise it's not long, so bear with me. It's important. Have you ever wondered why trying to lose weight feels like an uphill battle? It's not just about willpower. There's a complex interplay of biology and environment at work. Let's delve into the science behind why losing weight is particularly challenging for those of us who are already overweight. Your body has something known as a set point, which is basically a weight that the brain considers as normal. And this is controlled by the hypothalamus, which is a part of the brain that regulates hunger and metabolism. And when we try to lose weight and drop below this set point, the body slows our metabolism and it increases our hunger to push it back up. Then, when the weight goes above this set point, our metabolism speeds up ever so slightly, but not enough to prevent serious weight gain. And if someone stays overweight for too long, this set point actually increases and the body starts treating this higher weight as the new normal. And this is why weight loss and keeping it off feels like a constant battle. Basically, the body keeps trying to return to that higher weight that has been its normal for a long period. Ultimately, it's like a thermostat that's been set to high and refuses to cool down no matter what. Hunger's triggered by the brain, and there's two main hormones that control this process called leptin and ghrelin. Leptin's a hormone made by fat cells which gets released when we eat. It signals the brain that the body's full and doesn't need any more food. Leptin essentially decreases hunger, but consistently overeating and being overweight make the brain less sensitive to this signal, reducing its ability to recognise when we've had enough to eat. And this can lead to increased appetite, lower energy expenditure and difficulty losing weight, which is common in obese individuals. As we eat more, the fat stores increase, meaning leptin levels rise. But in overweight individuals, the brain no longer responds properly, and this condition is known as leptin resistance. That's where the body has plenty of fat, but still feels hungry. Ghrelin is leptin's counterpart. It's produced by cells in the digestive tract, And when the stomach's empty, ghrelin is released, telling the brain it's time to eat. When the stomach's stretched during food consumption, the ghrelin release stops. And studies suggest ghrelin can also be released even just at the sight of food, and can also be affected by our learned behaviour, such as repeated patterns of eating based on certain conditions or triggers, such as sitting in front of the TV, passing a particular takeaway shop, and even more so during episodes of stress and fatigue. When people diet or don't eat their usual daily intake, ghrelin levels spike, making hunger more intense, and that means weight loss is harder to maintain. That's pretty much the biological basics of hunger. So let's quickly recap. Leptin is like a broken fuel gauge that stays empty even when the tank's full, and ghrelin is like an angry little gremlin that screams for food the moment we're tired or stressed. So, how can we fight back and restart the system? Well, weight loss isn't just about eating less, it's about outsmarting the body's natural built-in mechanisms. These steps will help to control hunger, hormones, and reset this set point over time. We do that by eating more protein. It helps keep ghrelin levels lower, and not only does it help to keep us full, it actually boosts our metabolism. It's like a double whammy for ghrelin and leptin. It's suggested 0.9 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. However, for the purpose of covering my backside, this is what I aim for. You should consult a medical or dietary professional for more information. We also need to get enough sleep. Sleep deprivation increases ghrelin and decreases leptin, making hunger worse. The hunger hormone ghrelin gets way worse when we're sleep deprived. This hormone's up to 15 times higher in people who sleep less than 6 hours a night. So if you're not sleeping enough, your hunger's on steroids, literally. Drinking more water. Seriously, it's so simple, but works wonders. 500 ml of water before meals can reduce our calorie intake by up to 13%, because guess what? Thirst often mimics hunger. If you feel hungry, have a glass of water, wait 10 minutes, you might even find that your hunger cravings are gone. And the most important one, managing stress. High stress levels raise ghrelin, which leads to stronger cravings. So we need to prioritise recovery, reduce long-term stress by getting consistent sleep, setting boundaries and engaging in regular movement. Even light activity helps. Activities like walking, mindfulness, hobbies, or social time can lower our stress hormone levels, keeping ghrelin levels in check and cravings under control. Our bodies are designed to keep weight stable, but over time it can be trained to accept a new normal. So every good choice rewires that thermostat that we talked about. It just takes patience and consistency. Further to these hormones ruining our day, did you know fat cells don't just vanish with weight loss? They shrink, but they remain under the skin, keen as mustard to be refilled. This phenomenon explains why many people regain weight after dieting. These body adaptations persist. Carrying extra weight means more effort in daily activities. Simple tasks require increased energy, making physical activity more taxing. Studies have also confirmed that obese individuals expend more energy during movement than their lean counterparts. Now, if only thinking about exercise burned calories, that would be good. So, how does societal stigma worsen weight challenges? Beyond biology, societal stigma plays a role. Weight discrimination can lead to decreased physical activity and avoidance of health-promoting environments. What does that mean? Well, we've got gym avoidance. Fear of judgment keeps many overweight individuals out of fitness spaces, reducing their physical activity. Healthcare discrimination. Doctors often dismiss symptoms as just lose weight, leading to misdiagnosis and delayed treatment. We've also got workplace and social exclusion. Weight bias affects hiring, promotions, and participation in social settings, and that reinforces a sedentary lifestyle for many. Mental health impact. Constant stigma fuels stress, anxiety, and emotional eating, creating a cycle that makes weight loss even harder. The stigma itself becomes a barrier to weight loss, making healthy choices harder at every turn. Overcoming obesity and being overweight isn't just personal, it's a battle against external pressures and discrimination. And by understanding these factors, it's crucial. With the right knowledge and support, overcoming these challenges is within reach. So, now that we've discussed the challenges, Let's talk about exercise, because let's be honest, exercise when you're overweight, it's shit. People who are already fit love to say, just move more. Cool, thanks friend, that's real helpful. I'll be sure to pass that along to my body right after it finishes wheezing from putting my socks on. Here's the reality, exercise can be 10 times harder when you're carrying extra weight. More weight equals more energy needed for every single movement. That means a simple walk for someone lighter might feel like an uphill sprint for those of us who are overweight. No wonder people quit, it's exhausting. So, instead of trying to brute force your way into fitness like a bootcamp reject, let's make it achievable from the start. Because if it really hurts, you will not stick to it. So, if exercise feels awful right now, that's absolutely normal. But it doesn't mean that we have to suffer through it. Start small, make it easy, and build from there. Do you know what makes weight loss even harder? Feeling judged every step of the way. Let's talk about that. So, let's be real. The hardest part of weight loss isn't the workouts, or the eating, or society. It's the mental battle inside. It's walking into a gym or starting to do some form of fitness and feeling like everyone is staring at you, like you don't belong. Or maybe it's people throwing in their unsolicited advice, like your aunt at Christmas, telling you to just stop eating so much. Thank you very much, Aunt Karen. I'll make sure I write that down. The truth is, overweight people deal with way more judgment and it makes everything harder. There's studies that show that nearly 50% of overweight individuals avoid the gym or even doing any physical activity because they feel out of place and judged by their peers. But listen, you deserve to be in that gym. You deserve to move your body without feeling judged. And most importantly, these people, they aren't actually looking at you as much as you think. So how do we actually beat gym anxiety? Here's how. There's thousands of beginner home workouts on YouTube, plenty with no equipment required. Alternatively, if you're feeling confident, go to the gym. At the end of the day, the people who judge you, they don't matter, but the progress that you make, that does matter. So show up anyway, even if it's scary, even if you feel out of place, because in 6 months, you'll be so glad that you did. Now, we've tackled the biggest obstacles, but how do we stay consistent and actually make this a long-term thing? Alright, we've talked about the struggles, the science, and the mental barriers. But now let's talk about what actually makes or breaks progress, and that is stick to it long term. Here's the thing, it doesn't matter how fast we lose weight, it matters that we keep going. Most people quit because they expect perfection, but perfection, it's a myth. You'll most likely screw up, because I know I have, multiple times in fact. You will have bad days, I still do, and that's fine, because weight loss is not about never failing, it's about never quitting. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learnt so far in this last year or so. Before, if I'd had a bad day eating, I'd be like, I ended up going days, sometimes led to weeks of bad eating and not training. So I absolutely piled the weight on and lost any of the progress I had made. Now though, well, if I have a bad day now by making poor food choices or lack of physical activity, all I do is I start the next day fresh and try to keep consistent. By making one healthy choice at a time, this small mind shift and small action has made a massive difference in my journey. So here's how you make it stick. Set stupidly easy tasks. Focus on habits and not motivation. If you mess up, get back on track instantly. Make sure the next choice that you make is a good one. Stop waiting for perfect. Stop waiting for motivation. Just keep going. Alright, so what are we taking away from this video as a whole? Well, we learned that losing weight is hard. Our bodies are actively trying to F us over. And exercise, well, it's basically legal torture that's self-inflicted. We've also learned that the hormone ghrelin is a little for telling us that we're hungry, and that the hormone leptin, the one that's meant to tell us that we're full, that's actively asleep behind the wheel. Oh, and we'd also tell Aunt Karen to keep her diet advice to herself. But most importantly, what we've learned is that you don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep showing up and make one healthy choice at a time. So now that we know all that, what's next? We know how to actually beat the system. So what are you going to do about it? If you're tired of restarting, let's do this properly. Let's do this together. Join the Sweating for a Donut support group on Facebook. The link's in the description. It's a community of like-minded individuals on their journey to healthier choices, weight loss, fitness. It's an absolute no BS group full of genuine folk that have the same struggles, offering each other support, motivation and accountability. I've also been busy since giving up alcohol, meaning that I've had a lot of spare time in my hands. And I've actually written an ebook, which is also a no BS guide to doing better. Inside the ebook there's a lot of helpful information in there covering diet, gym, anxiety, exercise and more, and it's totally free. I'm going to link it in the description also. Now I'm going to ask you, please consider subscribing. If you don't, I might end up stress eating an entire box of donuts and I'm going to blame all that on you. Thank you for watching.